transaction in 3 hours to a day. Awesome. So pretty much, if there's a big like, wait, how is this going to work with title insurance? How is this going to work in general? Well, thanks to Propy, they have already set up a platform where you can just input the information. You'll put in your client's name, the offers, etc. You can start to play with it now, even if you don't have an NFT property or a client with cryptocurrency, just so you can start to understand of it, just to kind of have like the hang of it. This right here is what like I am just so excited about. Now, new market means new opportunities. And with these new opportunities, I'm excited to share that you can now take out a loan against your crypto or NFT assets. Meaning if you are, or if a client has been investing, they have a good amount of wallet, our job really isn't for them to like cash out and that's it. No, our job is really to kind of give them an education point where we could be like, well, you don't have to cash out. We can actually take a loan against it. And that right there is the example I'm going to give you guys right here. I have 4 pages. There are several out there, but these are the top 4 that popped up for me as I'm doing my own research. There are Nexo. And when you go to this website, it would be nexo.com. You would go down and you'll see, can you guys see it?
No, it's only showing like your actual web browser screen. So if you want to like share a different screen, that would be awesome.
Okay. Let me go ahead and
just do like stop share and then share the new one.
Oh, is that what it is? Okay.
Yeah. You can either share your desktop.
Oh, I see what you mean now.
Perfect.
Wonderful. Okay. Can you guys see it now?
Yes.
Okay, great. So let's say you have a client and they're asking you about some options. Just like right now, you probably have a team, you have your title company, you have your lenders. Right now is the best time to start to do your research, start to make those connections, start to see who you would want to grow your cryptocurrency business with. These are some 4 great lenders that are giving clients, you know, pretty much a loan against it. And they have all the information. They have a step-by-step how to do it, how to get it started. That's Nexo. This is Spectro. This is BlockFi and Celsius. So again, when you go to these.
Can I just interrupt real quick? Do you watch Selling Sunset?
Yes.
Okay, did you see that Christine and her husband, Christian, they just formed a company like this too? They just like,
I did not.
Yeah, they literally like just launched it. It was like yesterday I saw on Instagram. So I was like, what timing was that? So they have another one too. I don't, you know, obviously.
Wow, no, I definitely want to look into this for sure.
Yeah.
And now this is all in the physical world. A lot of people are like, well, we don't want to do this in the metaverse, et cetera, but I will get into that in a minute. But yes, I wanted to really share with you guys that information because I find it to be very valuable and your clients are really going to thank you for it. Let's see here. From there, I wanted to just, I think I pretty much ended it there just because I didn't want to throw so much at you guys. I want to be able to kind of have like a conversation about it. Just, again, pretty much understand here. How do I stop sharing? I go back to myself. Do I just like.
Second one? Oh, it's called like.
Oh, sure. Let me go back to it.
BlockFi. Okay.
Yes. So I'll go back. It was Celsius, BlockFi, Spectro Coin, and this one, Nexo. Nexo is one of the largest ones out there right now. Nexo, I believe, is kind of like the first one that actually started doing it all, the loans. And pretty much for me, it's really to help you guys understand that these are conversation topics. These are things that, you know, in this industry, as we get our leads, what converts these leads are the conversations that we're having with them. And a lot of people that I'm meeting here in South Florida, they are not actually closing deals with cryptocurrency, but they were able to close a deal with that client because they simply knew the topic. So this is just another way for you to kind of understand that it's happening. There are people who have questions, they're curious, they want to know. And if they want your assistance in buying a property with cryptocurrency, you'll be ready to go. This is starting to be more and more adaptable. We will see here. Oh, I took my video off. I'm trying to stop the sharing. Let's see. Oh, there it is. Perfect. So there I am. Now, again, like this is pretty much the innovation and how a lot of businesses will start to adapt into it. The top ones are Amazon, for example. Like you're going to be able to start going to stores and you're going to have as an option to be able to pay with Bitcoin. Now that's a huge deal. That alone right there is going to make the value of Bitcoin go up. Now, mind you, just like gold and how gold is very valuable, that value comes from us, the community. And right now there are many communities coming together to build this new, I guess you could say, evolution of it all. I mind you, we already went through the revolution of the Industrial Revolution. Now we're going through a financial revolution and things are starting to change. There are a lot of new companies and businesses here in South Florida that are completely converting their books to Bitcoin. They're going to start paying employees in Bitcoin. So as people start to like move to Bitcoin more and more and more, a lot of them are not going to want to just sell it. They're going to see the value in it. They're going to see like, you know what, I want to keep it. I want to actually store it and leverage it later, take out a loan, and then go ahead and buy a property. We're not dealing with credit. We're not dealing with, you know, a lot of the things that a traditional lender will be asking. And that right there is going to help a lot of people that do not have a bank account. It's pretty much, we're taking a lot of borders away. And I will be able to help a client in your state and you'll be able to help a client in my state just because of that. So our licenses can only take us so far and then we will refer it out. But here we're actually being able to connect more people to these opportunities. So I know I touched on a lot of different topics. Is there something you guys would like me to kind of elaborate more on?
I will definitely, but I will defer.
I do have a question.
Sure.
How do you think things like Spectro or BlockFi, those companies, how do they deal with some of the volatility like issues that you see with cryptocurrency?
So that's a great question. When the value of the crypto that you're getting a loan against goes down and it stays there for a longer than I guess they have like a time period or whatnot, they just ask you to put in more of that crypto.
Okay. So
that's pretty much how they are correcting it. Now, when the value goes up, again, for you to also understand, a lot of these lenders, you could say, they have their own token. I didn't really want to go too much into token because tokenization is a heavy topic that I would like to, at least it would be like a tokenization class. Like we need to break it down into little pieces. But the gist of it is that each lender is going to have their own coin, and that coin, you'll be able to pay it back your loan in that coin, and you'll actually be able to save some money in your loan.
Can you hear me here in Mount Pleasant?
Yes, I can. Hi there.
Hey, my name's Aaron. I've actually taken out a Nexo loan using my crypto as collateral.
Awesome. How was that for you?
It was good. It's a very seamless process. It's very easy. And yeah, going back to like the Nexo token and the Celsius token and stuff like that, your membership level can also, like your APY that you'll be paying on that loan will fluctuate depending on your level of membership.
Wow. Yeah, exactly. Definitely. Have you heard any like clients or anything are interested in wanting to buy property with it yet?
No, I haven't had any clients mention it yet. I don't even know if you can in South Carolina yet or not, but whenever that day comes, I'm sure that, like you said, people are going to start getting interested and they're going to start wanting to do it.
Well, definitely. Well, I mean, the transaction would be a cash transaction because they're going to be getting, it's kind of like taking out a personal loan, and now you're going to choose how you want your money, and it'll be cash. So now you can go buy property cash. So that's how
I think it's about 30%. So if you had like $1 million of Bitcoin, you could take out like, I think $300,000 to $350,000 worth of cash against that.
Right. How is your market in that price range? So would that get you into decent home?
That's not really. In Charleston,
Condos?
yeah, it would get you first time home buyer. I mean, it's like 350 to 400 range for first time home buyer.
Wow. Okay. Wonderful. Same here. I mean, we have in South Florida, we have the 55 and over condos. We have, the $1 million. So for us, we have different type of properties where right now I'm talking to a lot of different people and they're like, well, I have all this Bitcoin. I don't know what to do with it. I just want to hold on to it. And that's where I started to do more research. And I'm like, okay, no, we could take out a loan on this. Definitely. Now on the converting the NFT side, let me tell you guys something really cool. If you guys do get involved into property and you understand the property system, which is where you would be able to help your clients convert a property to an NFT, and you will do that by helping them convert their property to an LLC. It has to be an LLC for it to be an NFT. And when you do that, you being the first person to do that, every time that property from here until sells, you will get a royalty from it. So that right there has me fired up. My goal is to convert at least one property to an NFT this year.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yes.
Is that something that you have to disclose to the buyer?
Well, yes, the buyer will know. And I mind you, once you put it into this particularly system, there are other, like the houses I just showed you, both of those properties, they had at least 50 people bidding on it. So there are people who want to buy a property with it. There are. And as this continues to spread like wildfire, you guys are going to be the first people to talk about this, to be like front row on it. And that's what my goal here is today, is to kind of just show you that we're so at the beginning and we can go ahead and, I guess you could say, take advantage of that and share it with our future clients. And, or again, be prepared. There's going to be some people that are going to ask you, and you just simply having that conversation is going to create that relationship. And since we're in a relationship creating a business, you never know where that's going to take you.
I have a couple questions. One, like I saw that, obviously traditional lending can take, 30, 60, whatever days. And then I saw it looked like it was like 3 hours to 1 day, basically, to like close on a home. What about like title? Because that's the thing that takes oftentimes the longest, like otherwise. So what about like, how does title play into that? And then I have another question unrelated.
Sure. So it depends on what side are we on. Are we on the seller side? Because if we're on the selling side with property, you'll be able to, it's going to be like a package deal. You'll have your inspection, you'll have everything ready to go. They will prepare you, your client, and the property before it launches to the public. And as people bid into it, they're going to have the full information of that property. Therefore,
so like the prep work is already done in advance, kind of through that. Gotcha. Okay.
Right. That's gonna be like the new listing presentation, usually, where you're pretty much, talking about this with your sellers. Now, if you're on the buyer side, and let's say your buyer wants to make an offer to a regular property on the MLS, they can, and they accept cryptocurrency, because some properties do. Then it will take a little bit longer because we're still doing it the traditional way. We're just implementing the cryptocurrency factor.
Gotcha.
Now, here in South Florida, we have more and more lawyers getting involved. And in South Beach, for example, we have all these lawyers that are ready to go. They're like, you have a client that wants to buy a property with crypto, I'll get them their title insurance, I'll get them everything. Pretty much also kind of think of it as the evolution of the pink slips to our home, where before it was just a little piece of note you would take to the courthouse and that's it. Exactly. So now we're pretty much putting real estate on the blockchain, and we're going to be the first people to do it. 100% of properties are going to be on the blockchain. It's just a matter of time.
Interesting. And then my other question is, what are some resources that you use? Let's talk about crypto and real estate first, like resources besides property. It sounds like that's like that's a great resource.
Yeah.
And are there any other resources that you use in terms of like educating yourself on being able to better serve your clients? I kind of understand the seller side more, but the volatility of the timing on the buy side is like a concern that I would have. So like understanding that. So what are some of the resources that you use for you as a realtor to help crypto and real estate together?
Okay, so that would definitely be for you only, not for your clients because you're more not financial advisors. I Am Academy. They are heaven sent. I Am Academy. I can actually email it to you. That way you can share with everyone in the market center. Okay. And they are an educational platform where you create your account and you can go to look at the teacher or the educator, the educator, and you can follow how they do their investments pretty much. So if they want to go ahead and jump in at this price point, they'll tell you where they're going in, when they're going out. So pretty much they're teaching you how to day trade, how to get in, when to get out. I love them. So when I have extra time, I jump in my I Am Academy. There's always an educator that's either going live or they have videos posted. So I just click on it and that's pretty much where I've been doing a lot of my research. I wish I had more time though, but this market, as we all know.
Yeah. And then are there other, I guess like one of the things that kind of confuses me is that there's so many different types of currencies. How does how is that positive and how do you see, based on your research, how do you see that moving forward?
Okay, so as of now, when I started my property course, there were 17,000. Now there's 19,000 coins. Pretty much there's a master list that the top stable coins are going to be on, and those are the ones that we're going to be using. And mind you, those are the ones that the community is building. So Bitcoin is number one. They're out there. They're like the Amazon. They're everywhere. Then you have Ethereum. And then you from there, you keep going. You have your XRP, you have et cetera. Now, also understanding where to get it and how to store it, which I wish I would have made an extra slide for it, but I can go ahead and tell you that there are two different wallets. There's a hot wallet and a cold wallet. The hot wallet means that it's online, meaning it's connected to the app. The cold wallet is actually disconnected from online, meaning it could be a ledger that looks like a USB. And a lot of people that have been in this for a while now, that's actually where they store it. They disconnect it from the internet and they just let it be there. Now, for example, the top place to get your crypto would be Coinbase. So important that if you do get involved with Coinbase, also get the Coinbase wallet. So that way you can go ahead and safely store your coins there. Now, when it comes to hacking, it's more on the fact that people can get into your cell phone with their SIM card. And that actually happened to a friend of mine. And that was I need to be more please take care of your Bitcoin or your crypto as you're starting to build your wallets. So that's pretty much, I hope I answered your question and I kind of elaborated in there.
Yeah, no, that's perfect. How many different types of currency do you have? Or
I currently have, I want to say at least 10.
Okay.
Yes.
Do you feel like it's best to kind of focus on the top, the main currencies? Or not necessarily, because that's where the trading stuff and all that kind of opportunity comes in?
I think it's wise to, diversify it as you're learning this market. You'll know that you'll want to put a little sum in Bitcoin and you'll start to see how there are other cryptocurrencies that are growing and there's a potential for profit. When you take your profit, then you can go back and put it in that big boy, in that Bitcoin, that Ethereum. Okay. Yeah. I'm sorry, who is in MC934? I think he had a question.
Oh, yeah, no, I just said I had something to add to that.
Sure.
So, yeah, we mentioned there's 17,000 cryptos. I just wanted to say that, as you know, only a couple of dozen of those are very high quality, good projects. The vast majority of those out there are just people that are trying to essentially do a rug pull. They get you to invest in it and then they sell off their initial positions. But like you said, those smaller cap coins, they're more volatile. So there's a bigger upside for profits. And then, like you said, you could convert it to the more stable assets. Like Bitcoin is not getting percent, but those other smaller coins could grow astronomically.
Right. Exactly. No, thank you. Thank you so much for adding to that, because that's definitely what I think as well.
Yeah.
Definitely. So how else can I help, guys?
I'll keep asking questions. I don't know shit about it. I mean, this is like brand new for me. Do y'all have other questions?
I don't even know what question to ask.
I know. I mean, you at least know more than me.
Yeah. The thing is like they're all relatively volatile. He was saying small cap coins have a strong potential for upside, but the smaller the coin, the more risk is inherent because you don't know who created that.
Yeah, it could be like
it could be me, and I was like, yeah, we're gonna do all these great things.
Exactly. It could be a rug pull.
Right. Oh, for sure.
And they jerk it out from under you, like he said, rug pulling.
Right. So I went. Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
No, that's all right. Like the bigger ones, like you were saying, I'm glad you said that because those are what they call stable coins, and
right.
That's where most of my holdings sit.
Right. So
I feel like
stable coins are pegged to something like the US dollar or the euro or something like that. The Bitcoin and Ethereum and Cardanos and stuff like that, those aren't stable coins.
Right.
Well, yeah.
Definitely. Now, I will say that the volatile is it's a feature. That's like a mindset shift for me. I had to understand that it is a feature just because it goes up and down. It's great because your bank account isn't going to do that. Your savings account isn't going to do that. Like this actually is going to help empower you to make a little bit more money. With that little bit more money, now we can go ahead and buy a property. And that's why I went back into the whole bank account and went into the whole, like, there's so many people that are renting. They make X amount of money a week. This is all tying into real estate because this is our reality. Like, I don't know how it is for you guys over there, but for us here, rent is going up. And I want to help a lot of people who are renting to buy property. Like, how amazing would it be for them to go ahead and buy a duplex? Now you go ahead and you turn it around and you make some profit from your tenants. So
I agree.
Stuff like that. For me, I would like for you guys to walk away knowing that there are more opportunities or new markets, and we're going to be learning of those new markets little by little.
I agree 100%.
Oh, thank you. So,
did you have a question, Erin?
No. I want to say what else you guys, I would like to, okay. I have so many things on my mind I would like to share, but like,
I mean, you can definitely share. We're here for another, 20 minutes of your time, if that's cool. I guess like one of the other questions that I have is like, or based on what you were just saying, so are you thinking like I'm not a gambler, so I'm just going to put this out there. But when I go to Vegas, I'm like, okay, well, I have like this set amount of money that I'm okay if I lose, or cool, if it grows, then cool. Do you feel like, just from somebody that isn't a gambler, like, like now, this is like not who I am, like that's also honestly how I feel about my 401k is like, if it's gone, it's gone. I hope it's never gone. I hope it builds, but that's why I like hire it out for somebody else to deal with it. But do you kind of feel like in some ways it's like, listen, if you want to like give it a whirl, then you have the opportunity to do your research and invest in certain, just for the opportunity that it will grow. And that's like where the volatility and actually could benefit you. Correct. Is that kind of what you're saying by
yes,
liking
pretty,
the volatility?
Pretty much. Definitely. Okay. Like you said, like if you have a certain amount of money that you're okay with losing, let's say it's, instead of having 2 coffees in Starbucks this week, let's go ahead and put $10 towards this coin, test it out, follow it. Let's see how we're doing it. Oh, actually went great. Like you're pretty much going to start to follow the trends, just like we follow the interest rates for our properties. It's pretty much very similar. It really just depends on your interest. And even if you are not interested or I'm not interested, there are many out there that are interested, and they are the ones who, especially the wealthy clients that we're going to have, like they're okay with it, especially their kids. And now, if you want, we can dive into like the experience of being a realtor coming soon, which will be the metaverse. Now, as I talk to many people about this, they're very like, well, we're taking out like the human, touch when we talked about the metaverse. And just to kind of give you guys a quick little understanding of the metaverse is pretty much like a project, like a project online. It's you know, you can go in, there's a central land, there's Sandbox. I have been very fortunate to meet the creators of both. I've gone to some amazing summits, some amazing events where just being in a room full of creators, like they're the ones who are programming our future worlds, where you're going to be able to tie in, like whatever it is that you do, whether you're a singer, a dancer, whatever it is that you are doing and you don't want to do it physically, you'll be able to go into a digital world and do it. Now, when it comes to real estate, there are different avenues right now being created. There's an avenue where the fashion industry is going to be changing, and we're going to have all these new glasses. And these glasses are going to allow you and your clients to look at the properties. You'll have them, hey, come into my office. I'm going to show you the properties that you hearted on the MLS. Put on the glasses, look at each property. You know, we have Matterport that are getting very involved into all that. And then now you're creating a better experience for your clients. Like, you just saved gas, you just save time, you went into this, you dove into it. They want to physically see the property, of course you'll take them, but the experience is going to change. Here in South Florida, when you go to the new constructions, they're already doing that. They're already putting on the VR glasses. They're already walking you through that. That's happening already. That's one avenue. Another avenue is there are lands online to buy and sell. As soon as you buy some land online, which I highly recommend Superworld, please look into Superworld. It is still a place where you could buy property at a decent price. If you go to Sandbox, it's going to cost you at least $20,000 to buy a little plot. And let's just say you playing with this and you have a client that comes to you and they're like, you know what, I want to do it, but I don't know how to do it. Boom, there's another way. You can go ahead and charge as an advising fee to go ahead and help them buy some property, land, etc. There are keys. There are, again, Superworld, the Centraland, Sandbox.
Len, let me ask you a question about the metaverse and just my understanding of it. Please, okay. Other people can ask questions, but literally none of, like, I don't understand any of this. This is great. So I loved playing The Sims. Is this basically like The Sims and Facebook had a baby? Okay, so like you could literally buy clothes in Sims. You know what I mean? Like, right? Like you could, and you could buy even, not just within the Sims world, but you could even go on other websites and buy Sims packages, like design packages. Yes, I was a Sims nerd. I loved it. So I love like Sims stuff like that. So like so is that kind of, but it's like Sims, except for you're going to actually know in legitimate life who the other people, like there's other real people that are there, like playing like an RPG. Is it basically like an RPG, but you get to buy it to where nobody else can have it now?
Definitely. But now I'll take it a step further. Just like you have your vendors right now for your plumbers, your electrician, etc. With time, you're going to create a new vendors list for the metaverse, because there are going to be people that are going to buy land. Okay, well, what are you going to do with it? You need to have land developers, landscape developers, property developers, you know, interior designers. Like, this is a complete different field that a lot of people, especially our newer agents, are gonna love. Yeah, you know what I mean? So, and then to kind of take it a little bit back on the project side, follow the projects. If the project is just like the crypto and NFTs, if you're following the project, you'll see the growth and you'll see whether it's worth investing or not. But yes, I'm excited for that point. What else I want to tell you about them? Oh, that's what you mentioned about metaverse and Facebook. So Facebook was just really smart at calling theirs Meta.
I know.
They just called it that, but they're not the metaverse. We already are using the metaverse.
Yeah, I knew they weren't it, but like in that you can connect with people that you already know.
Right, and Facebook is
in that it's a social network. Yeah,
exactly.
And so is it basically you're just like buying into a video game? Let's be honest.
I guess you kind of
like a virtual world, like a video game.
Yeah, it's more of a virtual world that we're going to be getting into, and that's honestly our competitors right now. Our competitors is like our EXP, and they have their own little, metaverse.
Yeah, they have their own little world. Yeah.
100%. And that's okay, because I know with time, as the projects continue to stabilize themselves, we're going to be able to do it ourselves as well. Now, think about the branding now. Let's go to the level of us, Realtor, your brand, okay? Let's say you go to the Snoop Dogg concert on Sandbox. As your avatar is leaving Why is your picture not there? Like, you need to buy, sell property in South Carolina and Florida, wherever, call me. So there are new companies coming out every day about branding, and we're going to be hiring them. If we're not creating them, we're going to be hiring them. And those people are going to get us so many leads. And when I speak of leads, I also want to go back into Propy. Once you get the certification that I got, you're going into a lead generating system where the lenders that I just showed you and some that they're working more with, they're going to have random phone calls, random emails. Hey, I would love to buy a property. Do you know who can help me? Well, what area do you want to buy a property in? Oh, well, South Florida. Okay, well, Shocelin Montesinos is the certified crypto agent. I can go ahead and connect you with her.
So how do you go about becoming a certified crypto agent?
You go to
Propy. Yes, it would be Propy. I can
Is
go
there
ahead.
like a referral code, Shocelin, that you can provide us?
I actually can, definitely. Would you like me to send it to you and you send it to everyone, or?
Yeah, that's fine. Or if you want to put it in the chat box now as well, that would be good. But yeah, we'll definitely, if you have a referral code, I'll send that out I'll attach that to the recording.
Wonderful, yes. And I'm telling you, once you get certified, you'll be able, their new certification that just came out, it's called Meta certification. So now we're going to be able to be certified in the Meta space. They're actually taking, Propy has its own token, and they're only taking their own token to get into that one. Actually, you know what? Why don't I just share it with you guys since we're here?
Yeah, sure.
That way you guys have an understanding. I'm just logging in of how Propy looks and get you guys going. Mind you, my Miami Beach Market Center, because my market center is a part of 5 offices, the one in Miami Beach. That TL is killing it right now, and she's working on her own certification with the board and everything. So I'm excited to work on that with her as well.
Well, that'll be great.
It really will, because again, it's all about credibility. So let me go ahead and share with you guys. There you go. Okay, so this is my Propy, and it attaches to your MLS. So these are all the listings that I have. Should you want to, add your client's information, here is your transaction section.
So these are real life listings though, or these are ones that you have converted to NFT?
No, not yet. Soon.
Okay, but these are real life listings though that
correct.
That people can purchase using crypto or using these alternate currencies because you're certified with Propy.
Right. Just like we use command, this is like a command with Propy.
Yeah. Gotcha. Okay, cool.
Okay. And then we go to right here, courses. So it'll be right here. This is where you'll get your certification. I just did mine. I don't know why you're showing that. You see, now we have Meta.
Okay.
So I'm excited for that. So this right here is going to just empower you. These are your transaction section. I obviously don't have one just yet. I'm still working on it. I have actually a few leads after family reunion. So I'm working on those leads to see if we can start buying some property, especially with my Academy. So I'll go ahead and send you my Academy and my plan. Okay. And mind you, you can also search I believe you can search here as well. Like, yeah, you can search here like for the property. If you want to help your client put in an offer with cryptocurrency, you could do it through here.
Wow, that's really neat.
It really is. I actually met the creator of property. Her name is Natalia Karanieva, and she just had her first Propy Summit, and that's where I'm not sure if you guys heard of Tom Ferry.
Yeah.
Okay, well, he was one of the speakers. I recorded him and I listened to him all the time because he was so like spot on to all this.
A little bit. Yeah, he's a big deal.
He really is. And what struck to me the most was like the first person that told him about Bitcoin. And apparently he has this thing where he hangs up on people. He just hung up on that. He hung up on that client, did his research, called back. He's like, yep, I got you. Let's do it. Bro, he ended up closing on a $5.6 million house. He's done a couple of transactions already with cryptocurrency, and hearing from him just made it so much more real for me that this is happening. And I'm excited to empower other agents more than anything. Like, I want us to be ready for that.
Yeah, especially since he's like a leader in the real estate industry in general, you know? Yeah.
He definitely blew my mind. I guess the biggest thing that he said to me was the more you converse, the more you convert. So again, let's continue to talk about the things that interest you with the clients and if just friends, etc. And if this happens to be it, you never know where this could take you just by you knowing that information.
Yeah. Well, and I think it's also like another network, like obviously how we use KWYP, how there's KW luxury, like different segments, you know, that we can rock into. And,
yeah,
I'm working
on
another network.
Yeah, I'm working on the YP Crypto group, Facebook group page. So that way I can start, as more agents want to get involved, we can share more information on it. And hopefully little by little start to share some success stories. Like, look, my client just bought this with crypto. Just think about it. Like, you didn't have to use your credit. You didn't have to use your money, your cash. Like, if that's still safe to you, even though the value of it is going down, hey, you didn't have to use it. You were able to leverage it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. So guys, anybody?
Yeah. So like with the, if you make a home into an NFT, the person that buys that NFT, they're not buying the home; they're just buying the NFT. Is what you're saying, or?
No, when you're definitely going to be buying. Pretty much, I'll put it to you like this. An NFT is a digital ownership. So you buying the property as an NFT, that NFT is going to be recorded on the blockchain and on the state. It's going to be recorded twice.
So you're getting the physical asset in addition to the digital asset.
Correct. Thank you.
Thank you.
Definitely. Definitely. And then once it has been converted to an NFT, the next time you do that transaction, it'll be twice as fast.
And then are you able to say sell the ownership of the digital asset and not sell the ownership of the physical asset?
I don't think so. I think it comes together. I think I think you can take away the LLC part of it once you buy that property. So let's say you're the buyer and the property is an NFT and it has to be an LLC. So when you're buying that property, you're also transferring the ownership of an LLC to that new buyer. Once you have that ownership, you can then dissolve from the LLC if you choose to. That property will always be an NFT, even if you don't want it to be. Like, even if you don't want to like deal with it afterwards, you just wanted to buy the property because, you know, you love the property, but still it'll be in the blockchain.
Okay, that's interesting.
And how does the royalty thing work? You were saying like
anytime. Yeah. Again, so once you create that property to an NFT, right now, Proppy is the one that's leading the way. They would be the ones who assist you with the smart contracts. And the smart contract of it is pretty much just like a digital code that will then you can go ahead and put, you know, you'll get 0.002 every time it sells. You are pretty much setting the tone. So I actually had a recent meeting with my broker and I asked her, how much do I charge for my commission? And well, you know what I mean? So that's something that you and your broker can also have that conversation with, where if you do convert a property to an NFT. So for example, my listing presentations are, you know, probably like just like yours, except I add that extra. So, you know, I would like to inform you that I can actually convert your property to an NFT. Is that something you're interested in? Full disclosure, Proppy will charge you will charge your client $1,000 to do it. Okay. Or you can go ahead and help your client convert that property to an LLC. It's up to you, however you want to go about it. But that property has to be an LLC for you to convert it to an NFT. Once it's an NFT, it'll be on the blockchain. And once something's on the blockchain, it's public ledger. So every time you see it, you'll be able to, every time you go to that property, you'll see every time it has been sold, just like on the MLS.
So basically, like whenever you go to sell the physical asset, since the digital asset lies with it. So say, for instance, you represented the seller, you sold it to a new buyer. The buyer goes to sell it with a totally new agent. They're going to sell both the digital and the physical asset. They're going to get the commission for the physical asset, but you have the opportunity to get a continued commission for the digital asset.
Correct.
It's like it's like a royalty. Interesting.
It
Okay.
is, yeah. I'm excited for it because that right there is like,
That's the gift that keeps on giving.
yes, it really is. It really is. I'm excited for it. I definitely will let you know if it happens. This is my goal. This is the year. I got to do it. I'm going to make it happen.
Well, I know in general, like all of us, like I would be happy to share once you do it and you want to, like, I don't know, share it with us or something like that, you know, publicize it in some way up here. You know, I know that we would love to just hear more.
Oh no, definitely.
More about your experience and, you know, through this process.
For sure. And then with time, I'm hoping to be able to grow my first crypto agent team. Can you imagine like have a team full of agents that know what they're doing about this and can help other clients?
Yeah. And you can also be the one that gets referrals for crypto because, you know, other agents maybe don't want to do it.
Right.
You know, and
which
that's
is understandable. Yeah, of course.
Yeah. But
There's
you can get the referral for it.
Exactly, definitely. That's why I'm open to having a Facebook group. That way it'll be another place for us to go ahead and share some referral leads should you have a client. And that way we can go ahead and you know, work with that. For sure. I am right now working on my course. Well, I guess you could say a course, but more like a presentation on tokenization and smart contracts. So if you like, I can follow up with you and maybe we could do another one of these so that way we can go into detail of that.
Yeah, I think that would be great. I think that we'd love that.
Perfect. And I would love to know the gentleman's name. He was so like helpful today.
That would be you probably.
What's your name?
Troy. Oh, Troy.
Troy, nice to meet you. I really appreciate all your questions.
Say one more time, sorry.
I appreciate all your questions.
Oh, certainly.
Thank you.
Oh. Wonderful.
Okay, cool.
Awesome.
So
Well,
if y'all are good on questions, I'll just announce what next time's Wealth Building Wednesday is. And then Shocelin, if you'll send over those 2 links for the Academy and for Proby so that we can use your affiliate link, absolutely, since you introduced it to us. So next month on May 25th, we have Kelly Henderson, and I know you know Kelly from YP, Shocelin. So she's going to be talking about a net worth tracker. She literally uses a spreadsheet and builds her net worth. And so she has everything categorized. So she'll go over how to categorize your net worth and your assets and your, what's the opposite of an asset?
Liability.
And your liabilities. And so then you can then track your net worth because her goal is to have, I think, 10 million in net worth. So she literally has a spreadsheet and she's going to teach us how to track our net worth so that we have all of our passive income and all of our crypto and all of our everything like that so that we can figure out how much we're worth. So
wonderful. That sounds awesome. I want to join too.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. I'm happy to share. So, okay, cool. Well, thank you so much. And thank you, Aaron in Mount Pleasant. I wish I saw your face, but I appreciate your feedback as well and your participation. And anybody else in Mount Pleasant, love you guys.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks. Bye. See ya.
See you.